Willy bum bum, willy bum bum, willy bum bum, willy bum bum. It's Willy Bum Bum time. Yes, welcome to a new episode of Let's Play Factorio. Now remember, this server is available, and let me see. Factorio server link. Let's see if there's like a command I can type in. No, just stuff about making a headless server. That's not what I want. 6 best Factorio hosting servers. What is a Factorio? Why you need game hosting for Factorio? Alright. Suffice to say, if you want it, then just tell me what your name is on the YouTubes, on the Steam, and I'll add you, and you'll be good because I'll be good, and we'll all be good. Yep. So it's Factorio time, and I'm just gonna press play on my own video so I can hear myself. Suffice to say, if you want, and let me see. It's saying I should put in more copper, so let me see. Oh, the noises of the drones, the constant sort of noises. I don't like it very much, no. Right, there we go. So if I do that, and do this, and then do one of those, now we've got more copper coming in. But what about the electronics? Yes, what about them indeed? What if I had another... Yeah, I'm going to do another one right over there, so let me see. This one as well. So I've siphoned off that one and that one. So this one siphons off that one. Let's do this one as well. So to do this one, we're going to do this. I think this is a good idea. I had a dream about buying a piano. Now you may go, what's that got to do with Factorio? Absolutely nothing. Just telling you I had a dream about it. But the funny thing was, right, and I was buying a piano from someone I know, and I don't know if she's a musician or not. Doesn't really matter. Point being is, I was playing with it, and with a piano you have a key, and the key will, the key on the piano will do some things. One of the things it will do is, it's all open the lid. So anyway, playing with this key, and yeah, so the outer ones, now I'll do the inner ones and the outer ones. What if I draw from over there? And let's keep drawing from this one. And then that upper one can be drawn from there. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. I'm debating with myself whether I should next be drawing the copper from, you see. No, I'll save that one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to... What, you're engaged with the enemy? That's fine. Let's do a 4 to 4. Like so. And I'm going to move my... I've got a phone which is on a wireless charging stand. And it gets in the way of me seeing what I'm doing, so just do that. Like so. Look at these very slow construction bots. Aren't they slow? They're so slow they are going to be punished for their laxity. But I want some of the yellow ones. Yep, that's right. Some of the yellows. Then finally a red one. Like so. And then we'll do that. And likewise do that again. Do this here. Copy that there. Alright, so this piano. I had a key. And the key opened the lid. But then I had 3 other keys. So I put this the second key in. And then when I did that, the piano expanded both on the bottom and the top notes by another 12. So instead of 88 keys, this was one of those rare 100 key pianos. Is there a piano with 100 keys? I don't know if it exists, but I mean, theoretically it's possible. So I had that. And then, I wonder. Yeah, it can go all the way there. That's good. Then I turned another key. And when I turned that key, 2 panels at the top of the piano opened up. And these were additional keyboards. And I turned another key. And then when I turned that key, the piano now had synthesizer control, so I could change the voice and make it like an organ. Ha 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 ha. Let me just put the grid on temporarily. So it goes here. Yeah, and bugger, that's in the way. It needs to be here. So I'll just do that. So that's all the 3 keys, which has transformed this piano into 100 keys with extra keyboards at the top of it. Not sure you played the bits at the top, but there you go. My dreams aren't practical, they're dreams. But then I put the original key in, the one which you'd use to close the lid, and when I did that, these knobs which you would use to control expressions like a synthesizer came about. So this was a very interesting upright piano. Very interesting. G-A-Y. What does that mean? What did he mean by this G-A-Y? We might never know. We might never ever know. Nobody knows what Marco Coletti spaghetti means when he says G-A-Y. It's a mystery. I'm gonna have to snake it like a snake. Oh, it's a snake. 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 But anyway, yeah, more Factorio time, because Factorio is the best game in the world ever, and I love Factorio. If you don't like Factorio, then you're probably neurotypical. It is the true game for the autiste. If you do not have the autism, then you may not enjoy this game. It is not for you. It is not for you peasant normies. It never was, never will be. It is for the true autiste. You do not have what it takes to play Factorio. No, you do not. Look at me, I am the Factorio here. Yes. That's, so nice. Anyway, let us, carry on. Oh, I've got construction bots. What have they been doing? Who knows? There's some logistic robots. What do they want? Oh, yeah. Just got a bunch of kills over there. Very good. Very nice. Destination's full for iron. Very good. Some goes up there, some goes the other way. Why is that? Who knows? But anyway, let's focus on making the electronics work. Then I can have red electronics, and then when I have red electronics, I can have blue science. It is blue. So this is siphoning from the inside. I want two that siphon from the outside. How would I do that? So these are the outside ones. So if I do like there, there, might be wrong, but we'll see. And then we do that to there, that to there. That one won't go that far, so we do that. Do that there. That there. And then that one there. Like so. Now, I can see that these are in the wrong place. So now, now then, how's about that then? What's of that, do you think? I think the Dutch are scums. The Dutch, they are scums. And no one likes them, cause they are scum. And the Dutch, they are scum. They are scum and no one likes them. I hate the Dutch, they are scum. Ah, great Nirvana song, talking about their experience to Amsterdam being overcharged by the prostitutes. Come on, faster, faster, faster. Now all of that's done, it's time to do this. Except you've done it wrong. So there we go. Do that there, do that there. And then someone is going to come in there and it's going to build it and it's all going to work and it's going to be great. Except it won't because those aren't connected, so we'll connect these like so. Try not to burp. And then this one. Ah, yes, this one. So we done that weird thing there with the copper. So I'm just going to cut a bunch of stuff there. And then I'm going to copy all of that, like so. Yep. Let's see if I can just temporarily squeeze one in there. That's probably not a good idea. But anyway. I took a bit of damage. Ha. Those Ukrainians were cold. Right, so just offload some of that crap. Now, where are these guys going? I'm going to upgrade all of that now as well. The time is now. Do I still have any copper over there? Let's have a look. Coal, stone, and yep, tiny little bit of copper. Tiny, tiny bit of copper. Anyway. What are they doing here? They are, well, they are busy. If I come here, that's the area which is producing the desired product. You know what? You know what? Save the game. Let me just double check, see if there's any... I don't think I've got it, so if I go search for battery, robot battery research, let's just load in that mod, and by doing so, I'll be able to have those robots fly longer without recharging. So there's robot battery research. Do that. Do that. Do that. Right, let's go to the... let's just handcraft some of those. The blue science will be coming through natural means, but in the meantime, shall I do this? Right, there we go. So the research can continue. Yeah, Leonard. Fucking dumb Germans. Why do you do that? Too much time eating the Scheiße. Come on, where's the curve one? That's it. Let's have a look at that. Yep, solar's providing some 68 megawatts, which is pretty good. Better than nothing. Plonk another solar power down there. Get all those bots flying in a different direction for once. We got some construction robots flying out. See, they've just got a third extra range. I could tell that by just hovering over one of them. So if I look at that, yeah, it's down to half now. But this should cause a big demand for the roboports. So looking to pass out, yeah, roboports is going to increase now. Because when all the bots fly back, they've all got to recharge. But this time they're recharging with a bit more yep, that's about right. So let's just make sure they are getting some ammo. Uh-huh. Oh, those don't have power. Well, that doesn't matter. Because all of those can be decommissioned now. And we'll do that. Oh, I see. So half of it's going that way. And it's looping back there. And then it goes all around. And then, yeah. So they've cleared the area, which means in time things will get placed there. You know what? I'm going to help these guys out. I'm going to go to the place where the storage depot is. And then they'll just very quickly come to me. There. Now I've placed it all in there, they'll just very quickly pick that all up. And then fly to the construction site. Ah, that's another one he's done. What a dickhead. Absolutely unnecessary. Have to just fix all their shit. This is why I play single player game, because really, very occasionally someone comes along and they're actually a help. Most of the time it's just you're better off on your own, because people fuck things up. And they really do it in a way which is just like an absolute piss take, so it's not helping me at all. Not helping the base. But anyway, if we look at the solar... Yeah, there's the solar panels and they're slowly flying them in. And we see that there's no power there because they're not going to recharge during the night. Yeah, if I look there, you can see that. In fact, it's drawing from the accumulators, so the steam engines are maxed out. They can't produce any more power. That's it, they're absolutely maxed out. That's probably because all of these, yeah, they've got a lot more, their batteries are a lot bigger. So they'll be able to fly for longer without recharging, which is exactly what I wanted. So yeah, there was some conflict there, but the conflict has now been resolved. I'm nearly done here, aren't I? Yeah. Just pop those in there. Like so. There we go. You've got nothing to pick up, mate. Right, let's go back to the construction site and have a look at the at this. It's still a mess. So I'll take that and pop one there. Then I'm just gonna magic myself up some more. Right, that's done. I could be waiting all day for those construction bots to come there, or alternatively I could just do it myself. So, guess what? What choice I chose? Yeah, that's right. Beavis is a do-it-yourselfer. So I chose the two outside ones. Let's choose the two inside ones this time. Let's see. Ah. My muscles are occasionally reminding me that I'm still alive, and I want to keep it that way, not to move. Ah, good. So, production science, and there's utility science. But it says, precluded because of advanced electronics, yeah. And then there's a final requisite of low density structures, right. So I do that, and then, oh, coal liquefaction. Turn coal into oil. That's a new artwork. That didn't exist before. It is new to us, yes. Utility science, there we go. Uranium processing, might as well start doing that. Oh, I can't drag and drop the items. Okie doke. Duly noted. Let's put them there. And then 4x4. And so now we've taken the 2 outside ones, so now we take the 2 inside ones. Do I have a takeoff from the 2 inside which I could just copy? That's the 2 insides. That one's 2 insides. These are all 2 insides. So I want the 2 outside ones. That's inside. So I want the 2 outsides. Let me just do this and then I'll think about it. Right, so... nope. But you know what? Get rid of all that. Another 4x4. So that takes the outsides, so now I'll take 2 of the insides. And then that and that. Then do this. Right, whilst that's going, I'm going to go hate bus. And no episodes found for episode 10. Oh, laser to your dick. What's that about? No. Let's turn my volume up so you can hear me over that.
Welcome to episode 9 of the Hate Bus. My name is Tommy, and with me today is Snails.
What's up?
And Jub. And Raph.
Riding on the short bus.
And Shit Dog.
You just got shit dogged.
No, we did not get shit dogged. But welcome to the show, fellows.
What is it to get shit dogged? Explain it for the fine folks.
To get shit dogged is to be besieged by a sufficient number of my alt accounts to the point where that you believe that everyone you're in communication with is in fact shit dogged.
Shit doggery is when you like reply to your own posts. on like in like the comment section and you agree with yourself or you disagree with somebody else 40 times.
So what you're telling me is that shit dog is an Azakthothian.
He's a Russian bot. No, he's a Russian bot is what he is.
Yeah,
he's a bot.
In effect.
AI. Shit dog. It's shit bot is actually his original name.
Tactical sock action.
Shit Godum.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
An interesting week we had.
A bit. I mean, not super crazy with the news and shit. I mean, we had the shit with Bannon, and today he just apologized for the shit he said about Trump. You know.
Yeah, he better if he knows what's good for him.
It only took like 4 days. Whatever. It's fine. That was just kind of a gay fucking story. I didn't care because everybody knows the book is bullshit, and the only people who are going to buy it are the ones that want to believe it. So.
He's just a scene.
Yeah, Trump called him out. What's going on? Did you guys hear about his like fake news awards or something like that on Wednesday this week?
Yeah, he's going to be announcing them.
Looking forward to that.
Tomorrow, Monday. Yeah.
He's been fucking destroying the Twitter game this week. He tweeted out earlier. I think it might have been last week actually, but it was like coldest New Year's on record in the East. We sure could use some of that global warming right now.
Yeah, that was
The best. That was my favorite Trump tweet so far.
And then, of course, all the Spurs start showing up. That's not how global warming works. That's not how it works. He fucking knows. He knows that.
Stupid Trump. You don't even know how global warming works, Bill Nye said.
The environment is different from the climate.
Bill Nye says.
How global warming works is actually people make up a bunch of shit, and then the government gives kickbacks to green companies, quote unquote green companies, to build things. So it's
that's how Al Gore got rich.
Be careful.
But what
Tread
about two
on,
scoops, guys?
Don't.
The nice there, my dude.
Okay, Jub, on this show, do not let people know that you know stuff, okay?
I know stuff, guys. Oh god! Wait, somebody's coming in! Oh god!
Here on the Hate Bus, we believe in nuclear bombs and global warming.
This is the most destructive personality I've ever come across.
Shut
You're
your
onto your podcast, you faggots. You're fucked.
Yeah, we don't do any big brain stuff around here. This is not what we're here for.
This is a screwdriver-friendly space.
Yeah, man, I just escaped from that guy. I had to do some kung fu moves on him. It was pretty sick.
The band and the brand of nationalism.
Careful, guys. Jub is a double agent now.
Actually, he just reenacted all the moves from Kung Pao. So it's fine.
Yeah, I fucking hit him in the head with a gopher.
So where do we want to start this week with some of these silly fucking stories we have?
I'm looking at the show prep and rubbing my hands like a merchant here over
You're
here.
excited? You're excited? No. So real quick, I want to get this one out of the way. I don't know if people on Twitter saw this week about fucking Keith Ellison. He's the vice chair of the DNC.
Oh boy, that guy.
He went to a bookstore and took a selfie of him posing with the Antifa handbook by Mark Bray.
You betcha.
And
Mark Bray.
the tweet was, at Moon Palace Books, and I just found the book that strikes fear into the heart of real Donald Trump.
Is Antifa still a thing? I wonder if Antifa is going to be a thing in the summer, because they love to trend hop those soy boys.
I think they will, man. They have nothing else to do. They don't have
It's
jobs.
kind
taking
of a-
their time.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a shitty name. I think they'll go for something cooler. They might just start calling themselves communists full force soon.
Well,
They might.
And if they were like the real Antifa, you know, the extreme commies and shit, when there was a book put out about it, then they'd be like, that's not who we are.
That's not us.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
news
the way I
story, the news story we have on this apparently is coming from Daily Caller, because this is Amber Athey's Twitter account reporting on it.
Yeah,
I just
so
wanna say,
where's the
Amber,
story
if you're,
about
if you're
penis
available,
whitening?
You know, let a brother know.
Did you go to Canada?
10% of intelligent people. That's just a fact, right?
Came back.
Oh, man, that actually freaked me the fuck out. That dude.
When I couldn't make my bail, where the fuck are you?
Trannies are still a scary boogeyman to me.
No, they're a scary boogeyman even at the normies. I was over at my mom's
So
house the other
electronics
day because they
and-
ordered pizza, and they're like, "Hey, Job, you want to come get some pizza?" I was like, "Yes, please." And I went over there, and they were watching one of those fucking History Channel shows where they pawn cars or whatever, and the person they were getting the car from, they just came out and they said, "Oh, they're no longer known as Sam, they're Amanda now," or some shit, and this dude that still has more fucking 5 o'clock shadow than I do, and I'm fucking Italian, comes out and "Hey, I'm Amanda, you here for the car?" And then even my lib shit mom is like, "What the fuck is this?" Nobody likes
It's one thing. It's one thing to see pictures and know about them, but if you see a tranny in real life, it's not. It's a very
horrifying.
it's a weird. It's a weird
It's ma'am.
interaction. It's clear.
My stepdad actually told me a story back when he was in the military. He was over in China once, and these people up in the mountains were trying to get them to breed with their women so they could have rounder eyes. Oh, Guido, please put it in me.
Well, so apparently this hospital has caused some other controversy before, is said they stirred controversy last year for touting beautification treatment called 3D vagina, in which the customer's own
vagina?
body fat is used to make genitalia more plump.
Plump.
I could use a 3D vagina right now.
Give them some fat pussies.
Oh, some of that 3D vagina. Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
So apparently, this whitening service where they fucking use goddamn Star Wars lasers to turn your pecker white costs $650 for 5 sessions. That's a lot of burgers.
I think some of them may have already used Jub's dad's whitening service, if you know what I mean.
Oh, and the puns just keep coming. So they're talking about comments on Facebook, and people are saying, "Oh, the obsession. People nowadays can't embrace their own skin color." And the last comment that they had in the article was another had a lighter response, writing, "Why not?"
Why not?
But just the puns, a lighter response. Fucking hell.
Dude, South China Morning Post. I'm gonna go ahead. And
South
give
China
you
Morning
fucking
Post.
A seal of approval. I like your style.
Well, it doesn't even say who the author is, but holy shit, this is great.
What the problem
fucking
is?
Hanford over there just making fucking jokes and being like, oh.
Can you imagine just somebody shooting lasers at your fucking dick?
Pew, pew, pew. Laser gun.
But
I'm like, ma'am, keep the Death Star away from my penis.
Well, I assume it's kind of the same idea as like laser tattoo removal.
My dude, it sounds like the ultimate like Star Wars fag neckbeard fantasy, man. Shooting lasers at your dick.
Lasers at your wiener.
just Star Wars fetishists.
Yeah, it's like fucking. You got like Palpatine shooting lightning out of his hands, going like,
"I'll lighten your dick
at full power,
unlimited power.
Make your dick whiter." So fucking stupid. It's such a great story, and it doesn't have much to do with like the alt-right movement or anything else. But
who gives a fuck about that? Well, people still cared in 2017.
Well, everybody, look at like Dove commercials or anything like that. It's nonstop. Like, if you're black, you're still beautiful. Like anytime any kind of commercial is telling black people that they're beautiful, it's just like a pandering. You'll never have to tell white people that they're beautiful because everybody knows that we are.
Yeah, they already know.
Yeah, but with like darkies, it's like, oh, you're beautiful too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you can look at the graph of any dating site where people like state their preferences, and it's overwhelmingly white for every single race.
Oh yeah, the whole Madick meme doesn't really exist outside of 4chan. Like nobody wants to date niggers, not even niggers.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Emperor Palpatine, should we turn on the penis laser?
Such a great fucking story, though. I got so much.
Comes over and zaps you.
I had so many good laughs when I found this article.
Is there a pigeon version of it?
Oh God, I don't even want to know.
You used to shoot my pee-pee with the laser.
No, you just yellows. Funny voice, like be like, "Oh, Farrick fad, Thai man going nuts for a penis whitening procedure, crazy guilo, A+."
And there has to be a poo-poo in there. They shoot poo-poo laser at poo-poo.
I thought we were doing Chinese pigeon, not fucking Nigerian.
Is it Chinese pigeon?
No.
Yeah, there's Chinese. That's I think that was the original pigeon. Is like, yeah, look it up. It's like mixed Chinese.
You look it up. Don't tell me what to do.
Well, it was back during impromptu Jub's History Corner. Pigeon comes from back during when all the different European powers had different ports in China, and they had specific pigeon languages for each different port. And like the German one, that's actually where Tsingtao Brewery comes from. It was founded by Germans in China before the Boxer Rebellion.
Ho ho.
Fun fact.
Tsingtao. Ho ho.
Oh man,
dude, I didn't know you could speak Mandarin, bro.
Yeah, dude. But if you say like ho ho, that means hello, how are you? But if you go ho ho, that means I like to eat dogs.
Oh. See, if Raph was here, he'd be correcting you on your pronunciation, right?
He definitely would. So
Fraff wasn't such a bitch.
Oh
Be
shit!
here. Yeah, that's right. He's gonna hear this in 3 days and cry.
Hashtag wrecked.
What's left? What's left on the chopping block?
Well, we got a segment of wrong think here.
The wrong tink overseas. You mean?
Wrong think. Ho ho.
Well, not just overseas. We also have one here in America as well.
Swag.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's get into it.
Yeah,
let's get into
Let's
it.
try. So the first one on allright.com is this young man who named Wesley Richter. He was at the University of Vermont, and he was having a conversation with his driver. Right, welcome to episode 10 of the Hate Bus. Today I have with me Snails.
If you're defecating in the streets and you can't even be bothered to dig a hole first, you might be in a shithole country.
And Jub.
Moop the dough did a cough bin big snoot dub ho co motherfucker.
Wow, good one. And Shit Dog.
Huff duster every day.
Ooh.
Duster memes out the gate.
Open your eyes.
Oh, you don't even have to say it. We got that automated.
Open your eyes.
What a week,
sound.
guys. What a week, guys. What a fucking week. It's been
Look,
hilarious.
before we get into it, I just wanted to make a point for all my meds out there. I know this has been widely debated over the last little while, but can I drink wine and still consider myself straight edge as a med?
Yeah. It should be
Okay.
part of your bloodstream.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We're already, pretty much made up of at least 2 or 3% wine. So as long as, because I want to keep claiming straight edge at parties,
As
but
long as it's like,
I also don't want to give up wine. So I'm in a bit of a pickle here.
Well,
it has to be a Chianti or like Pinot Grigio or something.
well, but
Maybe some-
on some level, it's just maintaining your heritage, right?
Right, exactly.
So it shouldn't be a big deal to have some wine,
Okay.
or a bottle or three.
All right, thanks,
Yeah.
fellas, for clearing that up.
I mean,
losing sleep.
I'm not Italian, so my opinion isn't worth a lot on this. But yeah, I think it should be fine.
Somebody
you're-
touch on
you're-
my spaghetti.
You're an honorary Italian while you're on this show, buddy.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
We drive on the other side of the road. We're driving the hate bus.
We're just head on
Italians drive
collisions
on the other
entire
side of the
time.
street, right? I
mean,
I was just in Italy. I was just in Italy a little while ago. Do they drive on the other side of the road?
have you
I
seen
cannot
footage
remember.
have you seen footage of people driving in Rome? Do they even use roads? They just kind of go up on
In
the
the
side.
Romistan, yeah, it's all like brick and stone.
No, there's
roads.
this one traffic circle in Rome that's like the most famous traffic circle in the world for the kind of accidents it has, and they have to have like 3 different traffic cops on it that come up out of the ground on these like robot platforms. It's fucking nuts.
I will look out for that next year when I go back.
All right,
I want to go see the homeland another time or two before it gets completely blacked. So
Oh, jeez.
You better go quick, my dude.
I'm going. I'm ready. I just gotta go. I have the time set out. No, I'm
Make sure you
kidding.
bring a couple
Italians-
screwdrivers.
Italians will rise up.
Bring
I'm
some
not
screwdrivers
worried
with you in your
about our,
luggage.
Med brothers, they don't particularly take too much shit. Except the Roman Empire, they took a little bit of shit, but we'll forget about that for this.
That's all right though. But it definitely leads us into the big story of the week, guys.
Speaking of blacks,
Speaking of shit. Oh man.
what a
how
shit
great
show.
how great has this fucking shithole country story been?
It's been a really fucking great week. It's been a fantastic week for memes.
Yeah. It's probably Trump's best meme yet.
Man, no, that's I'd say that's like
That's his best meme.
I wish he would have tweeted it so I could have like put it on a T-shirt or something like that. You know what I mean?
Actually,
we don't even get like a sound clip.
They all these like liberal places have been making T-shirts of it where they do like the Obama Hope style thing with like the red, white, and blue coloring, and it's thanks. It looks like the Obama Hope poster, but it's Trump and it says shithole countries. Like they're trying to make him look bad, but it's like I would wear that shirt. That's fucking sick.
And then there's another one where it's just a black T-shirt with white writing that says, "I'm from a shithole country."
Proud. What was that guy? The one guy was saying that I'm a proud shithole.
Oh, I have that audio clip. I have that. So let's get into that audio clip then, because it's one of my favorites from the week.
I'm not surprised. In one way, I'm proud. I am a proud shitholer. My family was called wops and mackerel eaters. I'm proud of that. We came when people from Ireland and Italy were seen as dirty people, dirty Catholics who didn't belong in a Protestant country.
Okay, so no. First of all, that's my answer to that. No.
Well. So to be fair, all the disparate groups that were trying to integrate together did think of each other as like shitty, dirty people, but it wasn't a government enforced fucking standard, right? According to the government, they were all white. So
yeah, but there's a difference between like thinking someone is shitty and literally being a street shitter and like eating dirt cookies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't that much distance between their cultures as there is between us and fucking Bangladesh, man. It's like a whole order of magnitude removed.
Whole odor of magnitude. I agree.
It is an order of magnitude. Yes. Oh my god.
Did you just give yourself snaps?
Yeah, I was snapping. Did you hear that? Well, I don't have any sick drops, so I gotta improvise.
Fucking Zyklon Morning Zoo up in here.
Yeah. Well, no. So really, the beauty has been it catches people in a fucking dichotomy that they're forced to choose between. Is you have to decide, are these fucking shitty people coming here to make a better life and get away from the terrible circumstances in their country, or are these countries fucking great and these people are just coming here for fucking gibs?
It's cool how everybody kind of skates around that and instead just says, "This racist, these people, they built our country." What was Chelsea Clinton's tweet? I gotta scroll back.
I can do a dramatic reading of it.
Mr. President, immigrants from El Salvador, Haiti, and the 54 countries in Africa likely helped build your buildings. They certainly helped build our country. CC at POTUS.
Yep. All those El Salvadorians and Haitians built America.
It's like, no.
Heard it here first. It's news to me.
In Revolutionary War times, Haiti didn't even exist, if I recall.
Yeah.
Neither did El Salvador. Africa hadn't even been organized into governments at that point, I don't think.
But Chelsea said that they likely helped build Trump's buildings.
Oh yeah.
Because Haitians are just such fantastic builders.
Well, they're
builderers.
They're obviously very industrious.
Yeah. It's not like their entire fucking country falls down every time there's an earthquake.
Well, it's obvious by the fact that they still haven't rebuilt from an earthquake 8 years ago.
but they built America somehow. That's weird.
And like she's from New York, right? This broad.
So you know what?
You think she would know that the Trump building, everybody that builds in New York is either like Dagos or Irishmen.
Okay, but here's my conclusion there. So since Haitians built America, right? Obviously, all the best Haitian builders came over here. So if they had a heart, what they would do is go back home and
rebuild their country.
Build their country, yeah. Because obviously, all the genius Haitian builders are in America right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
why don't you want to go back and help your fellow man? I don't understand.
That's really the larger point, though. If these countries are so fucking great, then it shouldn't be a problem for everybody to go home.
Well, it's all
why is it?
Like these people aren't actually upset; they're just using this as kind of a hint, something to hang their flag of virtue signaling on.
Well,
yeah,
and
it's just been really,
the worst to me as far as the outrage has been the conservatives. Like the
conservatives, quote unquote.
Well,
it's just been ridiculous.
Well, the liberals will lie to themselves all day long, be like, they're not shitholes, but deep down they know they're shitholes. And I'm sure, if you get them one-on-one, they're like, yeah, that place is a shithole.
If it was like a week before Trump said it, they would fucking admit that place is a shithole. But it's just like this like culture of pretending to be upset about everything.
Well, yeah, but the conservatives are flat out convinced that these people just want a better life and they love America and our values and shit like that. And it goes into the idea of magic dirt.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
dude, bro, blacks are just like us. I had one friend back in public school, and he used to play Dungeons and Dragons with us. They're just like us.
Yeah, just
the millisecond that your foot touches an atom of American soil, you become Ronald Reagan. You become a.
Well, no, I think it's if you actually huff an American's fart, you become an American. I think that's the standard.
That's the 2018 standard. You gotta suck an American fart.
No, that's was the free market system is transmitted via flatulence.
Yeah.
I was actually just at the gym. This isn't a really big story. It's just like I was at the gym and I was in the change room and I thought like somebody must have like left like a dead body in like one of the fucking lockers, because as soon as I walked in, it like hit me in the face. And the locker room's big. Like I've got a big fucking locker room, so I walked to the back, like expecting to like find like a murder scene or something like that. It was just one, like it got way more pungent and strong as I got further to the back, and I swear to God, this black dude smelled exactly like a dead body. I've smelled dead bodies before.
I have the same issue, but it's Indians in my gym.
Oh well, Indians, it actually like the way they smell like burns my nostrils. They have this like disgusting. Like pungent. I guess you sweat when you eat, right?
It's because of the curry they eat comes out through their pores, you know.
Yeah. So like meds smell like garlic, and then but Indians, they have this like it like burns your nostrils. It's just the worst fucking thing on the planet. And of course, none of them have deodorant. God forbid.
Perhaps that black gentleman had spent the night before moving.
It was the worst. It was the worst fucking. Yeah, maybe he like just ate like one of his friends or something like that.
He ate a corpse
and then didn't brush his teeth because they don't do that either. It was just rotting away in the back of his throat.
And there's been so much good fake outrage going on with this whole story though too. I just one of my other favorites is the tweet from Vicente Fox Quesada, the former president of Mexico.
Quesada, see?
Your mouth is the foulest shithole in the world.
Look, I don't want to I don't like to correct you guys too much, but his name's actually Vincent Fox Quesadilla.
Oh, my bad.
So maybe you want to edit that. We'll edit that out.
I did go to Taco Bell last night. I did see that on the menu. So.
And he has a Jewish check mark, just like everybody else that tweeted about Trump.
Yeah, Robert Reich's got the check mark, and he's the dude that's talking about fucking
to the Nazis, the purest Aryans were the Nordic people.
Well, and Vicente Fox's tweet is great too, because he's talking about the greatness of America. Dude, nigga, you're from fucking Mexico where people are getting beheaded and shit. but he says
you're not even really from Mexico, dude. If he was actually Vicente Fox Quesadilla, it'd be full of fucking sauerkraut and bangers and mash, because he's like a British German motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, but the part of his tweet was America's greatness is built on diversity, or have you forgotten your immigrant background, Donald? Okay, America's greatness wasn't built on fucking diversity. It was built on
white diversity. Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, it was built on monoculture. Really?
Yeah, you can have white diversity. There's some blue eyes, some brown eyes, some green eyes. Yeah, sure, you're right.
Well, and the whole idea of America anyway is people would come over and essentially give up where they came from to be an American. That was the idea.
Somebody's got to give this guy the memo that diversity just means less white people these days. There's a new definition. The modern definition of diverse is less white.
Oh no,
so he's got to hit the books.
I'm pretty sure he knows what the new definition of diversity is. I have no doubt about that.
Look how diverse our movie is, The Black Panther. So diverse, it only has no white people in it. So diverse.
Actually, it's something really fun to watch. If you go on YouTube, you can find like full length like Ugandan and like fucking other like African. Have you ever seen those?
Movies?
Nigeria kills it.
They're so fucking
Nigeria, they're the kings of it.
Baby police.
They all have like Movie Maker, and they just fucking slay. Go watch a Nigerian flick today if you want to culture yourself. Highly recommend any Nigerian film. Any one of them is gonna. It's guaranteed.
You know what
to
the
be
best
good.
part about those movies is you can almost understand them because they're, and I'm not even shitting you here, they're in pidgin. So they're straight up in like moop the do diddle language, but like occasionally there'll be an English word, but it'll sound all fucked
We
up.
gotta do a live pigeon reading one of these days.
Yeah, that's
One of these days we'll get there.
Maybe we could get somebody on who speaks pigeon. That'd be sweet.
Get Niggerbot to do it.
Niggerbot is actually that's not a bad idea.
I could do a live pigeon reading. You just gotta hit me in the head with a hammer.
With a brick. Just get bricked quick. I'll screwdriver you right into your pineal gland, and then you'll be open to all the languages of the world. I'll decalcify it for you.
You just fucking hit the duster, and that happens.
Hit the duster, bruh.
Well, and I do have some more classic audio bits from this past week with all this shit too. I clipped out part of Anderson Cooper's fucking
oh boy
blubbering when he's talking about Haiti. I just cut to the end because I didn't care about him talking about a 5-year-old boy being buried under rubble or whatever. But this is the end of his fucking blubbering speech.
On the anniversary of the earthquake, on this day when this president has said what he has said about Haitians, we hope the people in Haiti who are listening tonight in Port-au-Prince, in Jacmel, in Benet, in Miami, and elsewhere, we hope they know that our thoughts are with them and that our love is with them as well.
Well, and
why doesn't Anderson call up the Clinton Foundation and ask them what they did with all the money they got to rebuild this shit down there?
Well,
what happened with that?
Ask how Hillary's brother's gold mine is doing down there.
Right.
You know, but the thing is, like in this clip, you could actually see him fucking crying like a bitch, dude. Tears were coming down his cheeks and shit, getting super
Like a
emotional.
bitch.
Well, to be fair, the man is a homosexual.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, so I have a quick poll for you guys. Who do you think is more of a bitch when it comes to the fake crying thing? We going with Don Lemon or Anderson Cooper?
I'm
Don
going
Lemon.
I'm gonna say Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Oh god, I forgot
Yeah,
about
that
that.
beats him up.
Kill Kimmel. Kill Kimmel 2018.
I know that wasn't one of the options, but I think that's the top.
No, I think Jimmy Kimmel wins. I forgot about that. Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna if Kimmel's on the plate, I'm gonna go with Kimmel. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lemon.
So if we drop out Kimmel, it's just like who's the bigger faggot between Lemon and Cooper?
Lemon.
Is Lemon? Is he an actual fag?
Yeah, he's a fag, dude.
Oh,
There was if you guys want to watch a pretty funny video on your own time, his New Year's Eve thing, not this New Year's Eve, but last year's New Year's Eve, where he got drunk and he started babbling about, oh, my boyfriend, oh, I'm gonna get my nipple pierced, oh, like he's turbo gay.
Absolute degeneracy.
Who's that redhead he's always with on New Year's?
Kathy Griffin.
Oh, Jesus fuck! I don't watch that shit anymore. I stay so far away from TV. It's not even funny.
But she lost that position, right? Didn't they kick her out? Because
because
She did that stupid. Yeah, what like on what planet? Imagine so when Oprah's elected, let's see how many fucking celebrities have her severed head.
Oh no, just all of us on the alt-right will start having fucking effigy lynchings and shit.
I'll just have her actual severed head in self-defense, of course.
Self-defense.
Only self-defense.
If she attacks me.
Well, and it's not
like I'm in an alleyway, my back is turned, and Oprah approaches me menacingly and with the intent to attack and harm me, then in that case I would sever her head, no problem.
Well, and the thing is, it's not like you're walking around with a weapon, right?
The only thing I carry on me is my screwdriver.
Exactly.
And
it's in your back pocket in case something needs repaired.
Exactly. There's loose nuts and bolts and screws all over the place, my man. All kinds of work to be done. I maintain my city, but if Oprah were to attack me and she's reaching for my screwdriver, she's reaching to grab it and use it against me to harm my body, I would draw my screwdriver with the quickness and put it through her throat with the swiftness and puncture her pineal gland and open her eyes to the truth of the world.
Open her eyes.
Tiger style.
Repair her from the condition of being alive.
Look, man, I'm outside your apartment. It's 2 a.m. There's a crowd of people between us. I'm looking in the window. It's a self-defense situation.
Exactly. So I have a couple more clips that I thought were pretty decent.
Let's do it.
This one is some British bitch on CBS or CNN is asking Will.i.am his opinion, and he tells like a 3-minute story about Bangalore, India, and so I skipped all that, but here's
Will.i.am would have killed himself by now. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, here's how he kind of finishes up what he's saying.
There's shithole communities in America that that need help, and likewise around the world.
What
so insightful,
Will.i.am?
so fucking insightful. Yeah,
what do you mean
there?
shithole communities?
Now, I mean, if I think of shithole communities in America, what comes to mind is south side of Chicago, Detroit,
any black run community?
Baltimore.
Oh, way to ruin the bit. Jeez.
Oh
Crenshaw.
no, sorry.
Baltimore, Detroit.
I think our big brain listeners would have clued in on that themselves.
Parts of Mississippi and Alabama. New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey.
Hey!
Of course the CivNats will say, "Oh, they've been under Democratic leadership. That's the problem."
Well, actually, they've
Democrats.
been under Democratic leadership the whole time. It's really quite interesting.
Yeah. Ooh, welcome to week 15 of the Hate Bus, guys.
Ooh.
Check it
Those
out.
are my jams.
What's going on?
A whole 15 weeks. That must mean we have some dedication here.
Possibly.
Does it? Or are we
I don't know.
autistic?
No, we're
Spur's
just
gonna
Probably
spur.
the latter.
You decide.
we're a bunch of retards fucking around. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know what
We're on
I'm
a
upset
bus.
about?
Possibility.
Like, we don't have any more, like, upcoming meme numbers until we get to, like, the 80s.
Oh, we got
Bro,
Jesus.
Can
Yeah,
we
you're
not
right.
do that thing where we do like?
What about 69? That's
yeah,
a meme number.
yeah. What
Oh,
about
that's true,
69,
69,
bro?
Yeah, we got 69.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Sometime next year.
Oh,
Sometime next year we'll be in the 69s.
That's still a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's like a year and a couple weeks away, as long as we keep at current pace.
Gotcha.
So stupid. So this week, lots of people on the show. We've got Shaddy
How's it going, man?
and Jub
Oh, hi.
and Snails
Oh, hey, Mark.
and a new
Oh, hi,
feller,
Mark.
a new feller on the Hate Bus this week. We got Sismel.
Well, hello everybody. Happy
Yes,
to be here.
Welcome to the
Welcome.
show. And Shit Dog.
I was just wondering what the wage gap was between all 58 genders.
Meh, eh. And I'm Tommy as per usual. So this week I want to start out kind of like alt-right 101 kind of ideas here. And I wanted to ask everybody on the panel, like, what was the instance or one situation that started moving you to this movement? Because I kind of want people to get to know who we are a little bit more and how we got here.
Jeez,
Nice
looks
try,
like you're trying to
CIA.
dox us.
No, I'm not saying dox yourselves. I'm just saying if there was a situation.
Are we going to go by order, or does anybody want to start?
Who wants to go
Because
first?
if not, I'll go. Fuck
Okay.
it.
All right.
So again, thanks for having me, guys. But I think for me, it would be when I moved into the city. Before I moved in, I lived in nice white suburban suburbs, and I thought that I can give a couple black kids hugs, and they'd be these wonderful fucking people. And obviously, that was wrong. My first day, I started seeing some shit go down, and I realized hugs don't help. But I think the biggest thing was when I finally saw some fucking big black bitch buying a grape lollipop with her fucking link card, knowing what my taxes were paying for. And with that link card, she fucking asked for $20 cash back, and then fucking left the line, went back in, and bought some fucking booze with it. Like, I think that's when I finally opened my eyes and saw that these are not regular fucking people. And
open your eyes.
I mean, I can go on with a bunch of small examples. I can go. It's been a pretty gradual thing, and I can't say that I'm probably the puppy in this fucking group, in this pack here, because I can't say I fully committed to completely hating Jews and completely denying the Holocaust. I'm in the process, and I'm so happy to be here and learn from you guys.
We don't deny it. We just think it could have been done a little bit better. That's all.
Fair enough. It was. I get the whole relocation thing, and
Could have done it. He could have done.
We
a better
wish.
job.
Right. But if you'd like me to, I can go through my 2-year process of really transitioning into this alt-right mentality. But the great
transitioning.
Transition.
Oh, no.
Cis males transition.
all right. Here we go. Then I'll start off. So my first day in the city, when I moved out here, I was working in the ghetto, and I saw these. Yeah, I mean it's I see a lot of shit. So I saw these like 2 14-year-old kids beating the shit out of a 10-year-old, and me being this fucking cucky white boy, and that just
all this time I've had myself
what the fuck
muted.
is happening? I've never seen this
Never
before.
mind.
I just sat and watched this little black kid get his ass kicked, and I left and went home that day thinking, fuck, what could I have done to help? And I guess I could have jumped in there, but I realized I had this weird fear of like, fuck, what if I jump in and I start like fucking with these 14-year-old kids, and some big niggas come out and beat the shit out of me. And
smart thinking.
He was probably just trying to get into their gang anyway.
I mean, you know what? You're probably right.
They were jumping him in.
I'm not even kidding.
So you're actually probably right. So I primarily when I first started in the city, I started buying some properties, and obviously properties out in the ghetto are cheap as fuck. And being out there, I saw what's going on on the corners, prostitutes, drugs, everything else being sold. And the cops literally not giving a shit. I saw backpacks dropped off and being traded for cash. And cops didn't care until the gunshots went off. And I swear to God, gunshots are just like alarms for these black people now. Like, after they hear the 4th gunshot in the morning, that's when it's time for oatmeal.
Today was a good day.
So and then obviously once I started getting some more properties and start finally getting towards downtown, I saw that there's like there's downtown, and then we literally have a city under our city in Chicago, Lower Wacker.
Oh yeah.
And in Lower Wacker, it's a whole nother fucking world. And these people come out like from The Walking Dead up the stairs every once in a while, begging for fucking change, and then going back down there and just living in this shithole. And the whole, I started researching it, looking into it, and I saw that we closed like 6 of our 12 mental institutions in the past few years. And now it's a whole thing. But I don't want to take up too much time, so I'm going to let the next guy go.
There's a good documentary on those things, man. It's called Chud.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off that because my story is pretty much the same. Once you hit any major city, you get a real taste of what it's like. I can pretty much guarantee like 90% of these liberal teenage girls have never had a real taste of what it's like to live around blacks and other minorities. Once you're actually put into the middle of something like that, your views change really, really quick. Because it's nice to live in fairy tale land and believe that everybody's nice and everybody can be helped and everybody wants help. But the reality is a much different thing. Once you live in a white minority area like I have for any period of time, you realize real quick that we're not the same animal at all.
No,
right. Trying
of course.
to talk sense into these people is not going to happen.
It's not a thing.
Of course.
IQ is real and it's observable.
Well, and my story starts kind of the same too. Like I moved from small town fucking Idaho and lived in New York for a year, New York City, in one of the 99% black neighborhood in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and holy shit, the fucking Cubans and Puerto Ricans there, fucking they knew what was up, and I learned a lot from them. So Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then what really got me going is, and I talked about it on the second episode of the show, where no, not the second episode, probably the fourth episode where I talked about my car accident where I was nearly killed by an illegal immigrant, and that's really kind of what helped get me going down the road of seeing what was going on. I started looking at immigration. And illegal immigration stuff. And I was already kind of awake on that, and thought we needed to secure our borders and everything else. I was kind of like a normie conservative, I guess, at that point, where previously in my life I'd been, an extreme fucking leftist. Not a communist or a socialist, but just pretty left wing.
That's really interesting.
Went more right wing.
Yeah.
And I guess, being
it's not very funny,
meters
though.
away from being killed in a car accident from an illegal immigrant fucking kind of woke me up. I had time on my hands, start looking at information while I was out of work for a while.
When's it going to get funny?
Wearing a neck brace for 8.5 months and being irritated by it every fucking day will fucking keep the anger and fire going. So,
at least pissing on the floor was fun for you.
Yeah, it was.
My story's kind of similar to Tommy's in that it was initiated by real life face-to-face conflict that way. I was living in LA with my ex-wife. And we had
your ex-Jewish wife.
No, she wasn't Jewish, man. Come on.
This is where it starts.
We ain't doing that. Anyway,
this is where it begins.
So this fucking she-boon moved into our building. We knew it was bad news from the beginning. Just we heard her and saw her as soon as she was unloading the truck. We knew there was going to be trouble, right? So one day, she was. My ex-wife was sitting out, in the courtyard thing. This woman fucking beat her up and stole her cell phone. And I had to come out, put her in a full Nelson, wait for the cops to get there. And, the woman, my wife had bloody nose, black eye. It was obviously had been beaten severely. And cops were all black, couple of Asians. They just kind of, took the she-boon off to the side and then came back and like, we're not doing anything. We're not pressing any charges, So that kind of like put me down. I kind of been down the road before a little bit, but that's what really fucking put the pedal to the metal,
Yep. Nice.
No charges filed.
Of course. Well, and so a lot of these stories so far don't really sound like how we get to the JQ or anything else like that, but it's like it's a really nice direction to come from to start
it's
getting
a first step.
Yeah.
I like how you said your car accident is what got you started down the road.
Well, like
my story.
I was chuckling to myself because there's a little pun in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to throw it there at the time, but
so what about Jub?
Oh man, mine's not as dramatic as that. It's more of an intellectual thing. So
I'm getting my
moved a
rock.
lot when I was a kid, and eventually I ended up going to middle school and high school in a pretty Jewish area of Cincinnati. And I remember thinking, like, why does it seem like everybody hates me? This is weird. So I kind of like went inward. I was definitely a bit of a loner as a kid, and then I got really into like metal, and eventually I got into black metal, but I was like still non-political. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to listen to Burzum. That guy's a Nazi. But then like one day I listened to it and I had like sort of like a weird spiritual experience. So I went and read all the stuff on his website, and like initially I rejected it. And as I kept going through it, I'm like, this is like old Varg. All right. This isn't like,
you got Varg pilled.
I got Varg pilled.
You got Varg pilled, bro?
I did. I got Varg pilled.
Old school Varg was great.
Yeah, no, old school Varg was sick.
Old school Varg was great.
And from there, I got into a guy called Brett Stevens, who our general voice chat is named after. He had a couple websites, and I read all the stuff on that. And from there, I got into like reading philosophy and stuff. I started out with like Emerson, and then into Nietzsche, and eventually Evola and such.
Gay.
And then I realized, oh, that's why everybody seemed all weird, is because they actually all do have racial animus towards me. And then that's how it happened. And then for years, I just figured I was doing the Evola thing. He had a book called Ride the Tiger, where he was like, if society's completely fucked, here's how you survive. And it was like a spiritual.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Well, but within the last year, some doctors have also started trending down their T-level charts to basically make men not feel as bad about their low T levels. They've shifted.
What?
They've shifted what the level of healthy testosterone is. They've shifted that level down.
Oh my god! Like they've taken like normal tea and put it. Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
You know what this sounds like, Tommy? I got a Samoan friend in New Zealand, right? And she was at the doctor's one time, and they, you know, those medical BMI charts?
Yeah.
They have like 3 different ones, and one of them, which has the lowest standards, is for Samoans.
What's the deal with the Pacific Islanders that they put on weight that much? Is it some kind of
but the
biological
chart,
adaptation for starvation or something like that?
The chart says something like this. It's like it's got like Maori, European, and Samoan, and under where it says like European for morbidly obese, it says for Samoan slightly overweight. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, they do pack on the pounds. Like we all know.
Yeah,
about
it's got to be some sort of like starvation adaptation, where like when you're deprived of calories, you pack on the fucking thing.
Yeah,
no, it's not
like
that.
carbs or
Samoans
something
just
like
have
that.
always ate a lot, dude.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but I mean, they
Samoans
get huge, like bigger, like
Yeah,
huge,
but they,
like,
they can't have been that way before the white man came around. They had to be
they
like a
always
normal
were, man. One of the defense systems that the Samoans had whenever cannibals from the other islands, because there were those, would come, what the Samoans would do is they would just feed them, and then they'd point them to another island to go cannibalize. I'm not even shit posting that.
nice.
Samoans
Well, yeah, no, because like we've all seen. Who's the guy with the fat guy with the ukulele that did Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
Oh, the guy that's dead.
Duke Kalanamoki or whatever his name is.
Yeah, did you ever see
Brother
that
is.
fucking guy?
Yeah,
Dude,
his
when
name
he
is
died,
Israel.
when he died, he was 700 pounds.
Didn't he
Dude,
do his music video
shut
like in a pool because he couldn't get out of bed or some shit?
Chubbs, his name is Israel.
He had to float while he played his ukulele.
There was a guy like that on 600 Pound Life, one of those shows that he was like eating himself to death with like sugar fried bananas and stuff.
I love
Fry
that
bread?
shit. That's like maybe the only TV show I watch. It's
The only person worth talking
Snails
about.
bumped me into watching that.
The only
It's
person
good.
worth talking about on that show is that fucking Steven Assanti.
Oh my
Asante.
That kind of
He's
rules.
my favorite.
Oh, I love that stuff. And the best part is like none of the people ever like lose all the weight and like go on to live a healthy life. They lose like 100 pounds out of 900 pounds, and when the show ends, they're still 800 pounds and they gain it all back.
I love it when their fucking legs just start dying.
Yeah.
Like
Well, they like scab over. It's like
Yeah,
really,
I saw a guy like that at work today, man. One of his legs was like that, and the other one was.
yeah, they like leak.
He
They
was
like
walking
leak
around on a
fluid.
prosthesis, and the other leg was like purple.
I saw this old Jewish man at the store once whose pants were big enough to fit 5 of me.
Well, we.
The only thing bigger than his pants size.
Is the fucking doctor a Jew on that show, or what is that guy?
Yeah, definitely. He's like a little
Jewish doctor
He's
now?
like a little Jewish troll or something.
Yeah.
It's like now his name's like Nalzari or something.
Oh yeah, Dr. N.
He's
or whatever.
He's Semitic for sure. I don't know.
You are
I
killing
think
yourself.
I think he's Persian or something.
Yeah, same.
Well,
he's Semitic for sure. I don't know what kind, but
Yeah.
Well, I don't see if there's much else in the hate bus fucking health corner here. But no,
lift weights, idiots. No. I'm not letting this go. Fuck
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit. All right, listen
Preach,
up,
brother. Tommy's
Listen
like, I'm
up,
going through a
fellas.
tunnel. You're breaking up.
Listen up, fellas.
Oh, lose bad connection. Ah!
Listen up, we're all posting nudes in about a year.
No, if you don't,
That's
if
not
you're
happening.
fucking
Fat, and if you're fat, you're out.
Are you guys gay or something?
Yeah.
If you're on any kind
Yeah.
of medication for your brain, depression, anxiety, anything like that, and you're not working out right now, you're a fucking retard. Is kind of the bottom line. If you're willing to take fucking medicine to change your brain chemistry and you're not lifting, you are fucking insane. It sounds like it's kind of like mundane to say this, but like I know people who like have taken meds, and I myself have been down that road where like you're on medication because you're depressed, but you're not lifting and you're not eating right. And I guarantee the second you get in that fucking gym and you do that consistently for a month, you will notice such a change.
I've seen your whole
that
mindset
is true.
flip around over the past.
Everybody in the movement, like, if you're not lifting, like, you're not fucking serious. You're a piece of shit. Like, bottom line, if you're not working on yourself and making yourself better,
that's got to be there.
All right, welcome to episode 17, version 2.0 of the Hate Bus, the alt-right's #1 transit-related podcast. Before I introduce anybody who's on the show tonight, I do have to say this is the second recording that we're doing of the show because I fucked up the first one.
He fucked it up.
I did. My recording software glitched out and didn't record anything except my side of the conversation. So
now, see, that's Tommy's story, but we all know he didn't even click record.
Oh, but I did.
We all know.
No,
So
I thought
oh, go ahead, Raph.
I was just gonna say I thought that it was because you guys found me passed out inside the engine compartment of the Hate Bus, pulling a bunch of wires out.
Possibly, he was like a rat in the engine bay, just chewing through shit. But tonight we do have a special guest. But let me first introduce some of our regular panelists here. We've got Snails, aka and this is the only time I'm going to do this because of my screw up last night, aka Big Daddy.
Say it one more time.
Nope. And we have Raph.
Yeah, I have no idea how I got in the engine compartment. Where the fuck am I right now?
Nah, you just curled up. You just curled up in there looking for warmth. And tonight we do have a guest from
I'm
the
Snails
UK,
is not in the new episode.
Godwinson.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you, sir. Glad to have you. So before I ask you to kind of explain to us who you are and what you do, I want to say I found you from your conversations with liberalists, and I think somebody had mirrored it, either Kronos or American Pride. So that's how I caught onto your channel and started looking at other stuff. And then Snail said he knew who you were. So, kind of, what's your angle? What do you do?
We've got a history with the Tards. We both have a similar taste in YouTube idiots. So we ran into each other a while ago. His YouTube is Godwinson, so GODWINSON. If anybody wants to look him up,
and I'll end up linking that in the show notes as well. So, kind of, where do you come from on things, and what's your focus with what you do with your channel, buddy?
Yeah, so I've always been fascinated by your sort of Christian people, and everyone knows what I mean when I talk about that. You know, lolcows, if you want to call them.
lolcow is the go-to term.
But I think it goes deeper than just having the lol, because these people, and the reason why maybe I'm addicted to them, but certainly drawn to them like a moth to a flame, is that these people stay with me. You know, I don't just look at someone like Christian and switch off. I think about how is society allowed a man like this to go on? You know, I don't look at someone like Jahans, who's the British Christian, the English Christian. I don't look at him and then suddenly switch off. He occupies my thoughts, and I think, good God, what's happened to society? What's happened to civilization to allow this? So that's what draws me to the internet, especially. I like to look at things like these people. I like to sort of find out how they tick. And you often do find how they tick, because they often post their lives up there. You can document who they are. You can read into them sort of elements of yourself, but elements of yourself that have been taken so far to the extremes that you can't imagine even being in their position. And you know, I've been thinking about this for such a long time now, and I've come to the conclusion that there's a generation of young men that are lost, and people like Christian, people like Jahans, people like King Cobra, they're outliers, and they're very extreme examples of what's happening. But the fact is that they belong to a bulk of people who are NEETs, who are not in employment, educational training, and these NEETs are the rising number of which are predominantly white. The rising number is white, and the fact is that because young men, specifically a generation of young men who encompass myself, when I'm 22, I think that these young men are shutting themselves away. The white birth rate is collapsing, and I think the harrowing thing is that if these NEETs don't go into the world and sort of realize this, if this doesn't spur them into the world, then they're going to wake up one day.
This isn't funny.
They're going to be old men, and they're going to be walking around, and they're not going to recognize a culture which is theirs, which they can identify with, on more than just like a sort
This
of
is sad.
base, like cultural level, like food things.
And I feel sad for hearing this.
like food truck nationalism kind of stuff. Yeah.
My message, and the message I try to promote with my channel, I like to point at things, lolcows, lies in society, representatives of this group, and I like to use them as a cautionary tale. And my message that I try to sort of hammer home is that NEET must rise up, not because you've got to rise up to clean your room like a Jordan Peterson style, you do that, you clean your room, then you can become this atomistic individual in society. No. NEET must rise up and reclaim what's theirs and be part of a collective again. That's the message I try to do with the channel. So I hope that I manage to articulate that I go a bit deeper than just pointing at lolcows.
So I think there is a running theme though, as far as everybody who's been on this show and everything else. We all came together actually through like mutants, internet mutants, YouTube mutants, and degeneracy and stuff like that. And it is watching like a slow motion train wreck of civilization. And so some people can just sit back and laugh at it, whatever, and not think about it. But I think a lot of us, especially on this show, in this group,
I like the laughing at it. The laughing at it is
something
good.
more than that, and that's why I think it's great that you're out there also doing the same kind of thing.
Talking like a fag and your shit's all retarded. Oh, dolphin fucking kike. Thomas Cole, the effects of oxytocin. Martin Shkreli, black robots, nigger news. So, it sounds like, oh, we're very sad.
Hi, it's me, Tommy. Welcome to the hate bus. I'm gay now. That's it. That's the intro.
Wow, that was a great intro. So, on this episode of the show, we have Snails.
Huh? No, I'm Tommy for the show.
Wait, Jesus
I'm
Christ.
I'm Tommy 2.0. I'm punished Tommy.
You're punished, Tommy. Okay, we have Shaddy.
Nah, I'm Big Daddy, dude.
We have
no.
We have Shit Dog.
Ain't no nigga like a robot nigga, cause human know niggas for shit.
Do we have Shit Dog?
We do. We have Jub. You may take my talk concert, but you will never take my freedom. And Tommy is doing stuff in the background, but he got the cancer AIDS, so he's not gonna be very active.
Of course.
Yeah, he's hitting drops. That's helpful. You know.
Tommy is Niggerbot. This
Yeah, he's like Terminator X. He only speaks with his hands.
Oh man, Niggerbot coming back. That's an old hate bus meme.
Fucking
voice is all fucked up.
And
Yeah,
we
so-
lost Niggerbot.
He was at the new Ministry show.
No,
He went to see
Niggerbot just shows up
Ministry on tour, and Tommy lost his voice singing along to the Antifa theme.
Yeah, that's what happened. No, Niggerbot lives on RFI now, but he's not going to be on. Anyways, this week we had the Oscars. There was a movie called The Shape of Water about somebody having sex with a frog, and a man named Malcolm J. Brenner, who wrote his classic autobiographical novel Wet Goddess, has reviewed this movie. Does anybody want to guess what Wet Goddess is about?
Is it about mermaids?
No, it's about fucking dolphins.
That's close enough.
So, he's an interesting person. He has sex with dolphins. He's actually he's not married to one, but he's in a monogamous relationship with one. And as he
like that time
describes
in
it,
part 6.
yeah, funny JoJo jokes. But anyways, so his, we all think slippery slope. That's a fucking logical fallacy or something, right? Not so much, because Brenner draws parallels between current anti-bestiality laws and the anti-miscegnation of the laws of the 19th and 20th centuries because
150 years ago, black people were considered a degenerate subspecies of human being. And I'm hoping that in a more enlightened future, zoophilia will no longer be regarded as controversial or harmful than interracial sexes.
This is more like it.
Guys.
Did we all not know this is where this was going?
It is where it is going.
There is no bottom to this
There's
pit.
no bottom.
There's no bottom to this pit.
There's a yeah.
Well, there was
gassing.
a bottom, but it got blown out.
Speaking of gassing and speaking of that voice I just did for him, here's a picture of the guy. So if anybody had any doubts about Mr. Crypto Brenner, I believe I have allayed your fears. He is in fact one of those types.
The stereotypical Drew Longnose, beard, sweaty, ugly.
I can't tell if he's sweaty because he's in the water. And
Wait, okay, but
yeah.
this then.
Yeah.
Is he like straight dolphins or is he like gay dolphins?
He is into straight dolphins.
Gay dolphin? That's disgusting, Shaddy. That is
I
disgusting.
can't tell, man.
Don't even.
Like, I don't know if this was like a Mr. Hand situation or not.
No, because in the article he specifically describes how Dolly the dolphin, who is the dolphin he had a relationship with in the 70s, would rub her genital slit against him and quote, if I tried to push her away, she would get very angry with me. One time, when she wanted to masturbate on my foot and I wouldn't let her, she threw herself on top of me and pushed me down to the 12-foot bottom of the pool.
The poor man had no choice but to fuck the dolphin.
Yeah, this man has been raped by dolphins and has developed a form of Stockholm syndrome and is now in a monogamous relationship.
I've heard a similar story to this. I'm not gonna. I know a certain goat man who claims about the same thing. But there was a woman who was like jerking dolphins off.
Oh yeah, dude, I can't remember her name right now.
I'm jerking dolphins off instead.
It's not sexual. It's just part of the job.
Well,
she was part of an experiment where they like flooded a house and had dolphins live with people.
Yeah.
And, like,
Here, let me look up who this was.
She initiated a relationship with the dolphin.
It's Big Brother Dolphin Edition.
Was that the same chick who jerked off the orca whale?
Hmm?
Yeah, no, she was.
She jerked off an orca too. Is that a thing?
I'm
gonna have to do some googling.
Oh, okay. So this is
Google it. I know what I'm doing Sunday night.
No, she is her name. So we're talking about here is Margaret Howe, who was actually a weirdo hippie during the free love movement that got involved with a dolphin named Peter, wherein they did a dolphin experiment where, like Shit Dog said, they flooded the house and then would let dolphins come in. And one dolphin liked what he saw. And so there's a whole thing where, by the way, she's also a kike. You know, there's a big surprise. Yeah.
I'm noticing a trend.
They
But
like
I don't
to
want to
fuck
get banned. I just don't want us to get banned off Twitter, so I'm not going to point it.
No,
But I am noticing a trend.
white women fuck dogs. Yentas fuck dolphins.
There you
go. But, you know, that was a whole wacky thing because you know what happened there is eventually they restricted Margaret's access to Peter.
Okay,
and
so
Peter the dolphin committed suicide. The dolphin killed himself.
here's
he couldn't have sex with this person.
Here's my spicy take on the situation. You ready?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Jews, right? They did a pretty good job blending in with whites, but they can't do as good of a job blending in with Asians. So what they're doing is like Zuckerberg, they're breeding their way in to the race. Now, they're what Jews are doing now is they're playing the long game. They're looking way ahead to when these dolphins achieve complete sentience. They're building their own societies, and the Jews, they're just getting their foot in the door with the dolphin overlords.
Next it'll be the orangutans and the gorillas. They're going to go right down the animal scale of IQ. We're going to start with dolphins. We're going to go to bonobos.
They're just getting their feet wet.
Work
in the
their way
dolphin
down
community,
until the goat-Jew hybrids come about.
Oh, the dolphin Jew hybrids, that's what's coming. Eugenics,
That's
they're pushing for hard.
That's first.
We're gonna have a lot of aquatic Jews.
I think they're already kind of like worm hybrids or like maybe reptile hybrids or something.
Oh man, I don't want
Meanwhile,
to
in
normally
Innsmouth-
post, but wasn't there an episode of South Park where the Jewish guy is trans dolphin?
Oh yeah. Kyle's dad.
Wow, it doesn't sound so
South Park
far-fetched
did
now.
it. Sorry.
Whatever. But yeah, so getting back
South Park did
to
it.
our original dolphin fucker, Mr. Brennan, lest you think my Judar was in doubt, we have another quote from him. I would like to think that society will become less religious because the prohibitions in Leviticus are the only conceivable basis for any laws against bestiality. So that's the only reason we don't fuck dolphins, is because of Leviticus, guys. I can't see that offing my dog has any effect on society, good or ill, as long as I'm not hurting her or abusing her. Laws against animal cruelty ought to be sufficient without criminalizing the act of interspecies sex, which organizations like PETA are trying to do. So, base PETA, I guess. They don't want you fucking dolphins.
What the fuck? I'm a vegan now.
Yeah, right?
I don't know how to weigh in on that.
I don't even know what to say.
There's so many things
Okay,
going on
if
here.
it's just gonna be like Yid's fucking dolphins, then yeah, go ahead.
Job, you're saying that PETA's against eating all meat?
Yeah.
Well, that's my
I
flute,
get it.
man.
I get it. That wasn't bad enough to get the flute.
Damn.
Did she really jerk off an orca?
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you.
I don't know if Margaret Howe actually jerked
is
off
that
an
fake
orca.
news?
That's
Is
the
that-
first time I've heard it, but she
How
did
big's
fuck a
an orca
dolphin.
weenie? How big is an orca weenie? You guys
would-
talk. I'm gonna Google this real quick.
All right.
You're just
so
gonna go on
orcas,
Bad Dragon
they
for
have-
some research.
Yeah, right. Well, and the other thing is this. This isn't in show prep, but I actually saw that somebody on Etsy created a Shape of Water Fishman dildo, and it sold out within like a day. All supplies.
Jeez.
So.
Oh, I remember that story.
The Great Society.
Yep.
And you know what
Wow.
sucks is
This is bringing back some horrible memories.
I haven't seen this movie, but I used to like Guillermo del Toro a lot. I was a big fan of like Pan's Labyrinth and the first Pacific Rim and shit.
Didn't he play?
They're big.
Didn't he
They're
play a
big for
fish
you.
guy in Hellboy too?
I
No,
found a
yeah,
video
Hellboy's
of,
good. I like Hellboy.
Yeah, but didn't he play
So,
a fish guy? in Hellboy?
yeah. Breaking news. Did it?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Orca penises are large.
Pretty big, yeah. And I found a YouTube video of some dudes jerking one off. So
Oh, that. Yeah.
the women doing it. It's not too far fetched. I'm sure. I believe you, Shady.
I don't know. If we've all seen Blackfish,
That's a big.
orcas do not capable having sex with humans lying down like the dolphins do.
No, it's just like it like flips on its back, and then two dudes go over with a plastic bag, and
How fucking gay you gotta be for that shit? That's like the double
it's an
gay.
extraction. I guess they like artificially inseminate them, because like to get bulls to come, you gotta like stick your arm up their ass or something like that, don't you?
I got a life force.
I can speak to this. It's an electro stimulator that goes in the butthole.
Yeah, you would know how to make a bull
You
come.
put a vibrator up his ass.
Something like that. It's like a. But it looks
No,
like
you shock its prostate, and then there's like a collector that you stick on its dick.
with orcas,
I'm
you, like,
so
actually
glad
just
when I
jerk it
worked
off.
with animals, I never had to deal with this shit.
Ugh. So yeah, we got people fucking dolphins. That's always fun.
What's up?
Yeah.
So, yeah, speaking of fucking dolphins, we also have in other degenerate news, oxytocin, I believe is how it's pronounced, is being used to modify human brains to make people less xenophobic. So,
Whatever
Ooh,
happened to the magnets? They were gonna magnetize our brains.
you know, well, the thing is, nobody could figure out how they worked.
Miracles, my man. Miracles.
I don't
So
care
what
what
they
a
did
science
here
man
is,
says.
they tested the xenophobic propensity of 183 Caucasian participants. You know how likely they were to make donations to people in need, and then they administered the oxytocin, did it again, and saw a 74% increase in refugee-directed donations.
So for the audience that doesn't know, oxytocin is the chemical that's produced in abundance in pregnant women that have just given childbirth and in lovers when you're first falling in love. It is the feel-good aspect of hanging out with other human beings. So basically, what they're trying to do is feed everyone the equivalent of ecstasy. So they'll go into a hug box fest with these fucking Muslims that are coming in.
That sounds like a great idea.
To all our friends listening from California, don't drink the tap water.
Yeah.
You have been warned.
Well, the other interesting thing about this oxytocin experiment, which was done by who the fuck is this? Some group of idiots. The National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America. That's got to be the name of the public. Whatever. But side effect was it also increased fear response. So I'm pretty sure if you actually try to overdose a population on oxytocin, you would get a little bit less lovey-dovey and a little bit more like that part in that one Batman movie with the fear gas. So
Yeah.
the opposite effect.
Yeah, the Man Bat invented that.
Yeah.
Man Bat.
When Jack Nicholson is giving out all the free cash.
No, not that Batman movie. The Christian
That's
Bale
Batman movie.
Oh, I was talking about
That
the
is a good
comics. Is Man Bat in any of the movies yet? I'm out of it.
Man Bat was sort of in the movie I'm talking about, just because some scarecrow gassed and hallucinated and saw Man Bat. But so anyways, this is the University of Bonn Medical Center did this. Anybody know where the fuck that is? I think that's German.
Bonn, Bonn.
Yes.
Switzerland.
It says that the research was supported by a grant from the German Science Foundation. So I think this actually means that things are going more our way in Germany than we realize, if they're trying to find ways to massively medicate the population. To make them
Yeah,
more
that's a
amenable to
desperate step, man.
refugees. Yeah.
Not cheap either.
No, they had to get 183 people and like do all this wacky shit to them.
Well, how far away is them calling this like a mental illness to be xenophobic?
Right. Well, that's
And
where
then,
that's
and
what
then,
this is
like,
headed.
force treating people, you know?
Because if there's a
That's
cure,
why
there's
I
got to
don't-
be a pathology for it to treat. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's why I don't support a lot of, we need more extreme vetting for firearms going, because what they're going to do is they're going to do the mental fitness vetting, right? But then they're just going to declare racism a
this
disease.
robot says you're a robot, so nope, you can't have. I mean, this robot says you're a
Yeah.
racist, so
Or a robot.
you can't have a gun.
It's
You're
going
a
to be like those
racist robot.
baseline tests for the replicants in Blade Runner, right? When you go
Get the fucking light in your eyeball. That'd be fun. At least then you get to bang 80s Sean Young. I'm okay with that.
So Jub, if you saw a turtle on its back, what would you do?
What are you talking about, my mother?
Just blow him away.
To be fair to the guy in that movie, if somebody was like saying you're not helping the turtle, and he's like, I'd help the turtle, like I'd get a little upset. That doesn't mean he's a robot.
So Tommy's playing behind the scenes today, and he just posted an article from the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health, and it says, "Is extreme racism a mental illness?" And these researchers have decided that yes, indeed, racism is a mental illness. So
Is extreme altruism a mental illness?
Extreme altruism.
Wait. So being racist is a mental illness, but wanting to chop your dick off isn't?
Yeah.
Wanting to
in
intentionally get
current
AIDS
timeline,
isn't?
yeah. Somewhere out there, there's like
a little bit about.
Well, if that was the case, that would mean, in effect, that most babies are born mentally ill, because didn't they have those tests a little while back that racism is like innate and it's a problem?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot, man. All the way through life, like, you are naturally inclined to, like, okay, for example, I took an art class a long time ago, and the instructor was just like, okay, everybody draw a face. And as soon as, like, we were done, because the instructor was pretty woke, it was interesting. It was an interesting class. But everybody drew a face to the best of their ability. And then we all inspected, like, what everyone's face looked like. And because I'm in Toronto, it was a very diverse class that we had. So right away you can tell the Indians drew Indians, the Chinese drew Chinese, the blacks drew blacks, the whites drew whites, and the whites drew their own, subsect of white. So I drew an Italian because I look like an Italian. So this is something that's not just, it's not just like, you don't learn to stop being racist. Racism is just a part of your DNA, like, period. Whether it's conscious or
We're
not.
hardwired as human beings to seek like individuals.
Yeah, but that's just how it is. Like, fucking anything.
Anybody who denies that is
Anything that
delusional.
exists in nature is hardwired to seek itself.
Yeah.
Well, man, as the Prophet Muhammad said, the blackbirds fly with the blackbirds and the bluebirds fly with the blue.
Doug.
Don't worry. Nappy ass hair.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Inshallah, my brethren. Very much so. But I honestly think that the whole pathological altruism thing isn't only a mental illness, it's also a societal disease. It's suicidal. It's a civilization that's lost its drive towards greatness, attempting to kill itself. But, you know,
And-
maybe that's a little big brain.
Well, no, I mean it plays into sociological theory where a society starts out with this hunger and this need, this cohesion, and then it moves into a period of productivity and then decadence, and then like the anomie sets in and the suicide urge manifests itself.
Right.
You
So,
know.
are you guys familiar with the painter Thomas Cole at all?
No,
Yeah.
Not particularly.
So he was
I
part
don't
of.
care about art.
Well, no, this is going somewhere. Mister, I don't care about art. Listen to this fucking guy. So Thomas Cole, he was part of the Hudson River School. If anybody's aware of that, it was a group of American landscape painters. But he also did this quartet of paintings called the Rise and Fall of Civilizations or something like that.
Oh, that
And
guy.
Yeah. See, you know what I'm talking about with these four paintings. Like
Yeah.
it starts out with like wilderness and primitive humans. Then it's like the civilization builds itself up, reaches peak decadence, and then falls. And so in the falling thing, it's basically like the sack of Rome, and after that, all that's left is ruins. So hopefully,
And then starts to
we're headed
overgrow.
toward there. Yeah, well, the thing is, if you couple that with the Nietzschean doctrine of eternal recurrence,
The
maybe it's not
Faustian
necessarily a bad
spirit.
thing if the civilization falls into ruins, because then something else stronger rises out of it.
Faustian spirit.
Like a phoenix. But so I think that civilizations actually a good case that they go through life cycles, much like any.
It's demonstrable. I mean, that's anything does. Anything made by man or made by nature always follows the same.
Well, that's the thing is, like
cycles.
Like this idea of cycles repeats itself as you get to like larger and larger units of organization. So like a cell is born, by other cells dividing, and then it eventually, I think, what's it called, like anabapsis or whatever, when it kills itself.
Yeah, everything dies. Man.
Aging.
Yeah, well, and then.
Apoptosis.
I don't like where this is going at all.
I think we need a Duster Huff drop.
No, well, the whole thing is like, I think Godwinson was kind of talking about this last week, and I've been reading about it too. But it's just like the idea that like history repeats itself, and like we're going through cycles like nonstop. But it's like these are post, natural times. This is
Post historical. I know what you're saying.
Things are not going to follow any set path.
It doesn't always follow the same form, but it follows the same
No,
arc.
it doesn't. It doesn't like. It's not like the same thing happens, but
it's a similar arc.
I
Yeah,
understand like what you're saying, like culture versus whatever, civilization, but I don't think it's gonna go this way around, because this time around it's kind of like I don't know. I think with the internet and with like how far the race has like come, I don't think there's like going back to anything else. I don't think there is going to be a fall. Like we'll either fall and then be wiped out, or we'll rise back up, and that'll be the end of it.
Well, no, that's what I mean. So this is also part of the thing with Nietzschean recurrence. Also, the idea of the Übermensch is that so everything goes through this cycle, and then the Übermensch is one way of.
I'm gonna watch something about computers instead.
Welcome to another video from explainingcomputers.com. This time it's the 400th Explaining Computers video, and recently the Raspberry Pi celebrated its 10th birthday, and so I thought to mark both of these events I'd make this video of my top 10 uses for a Raspberry Pi, because I'm always getting comments in the comments with people asking, what can you use a Raspberry Pi for? So this video will give you 10 things you can use a Raspberry Pi for. And I want to stress from the start that whilst this is a top 10 video, there is no implied ranking here. Everything I'm about to talk about is of equal importance. 10 years ago, the very first Raspberry Pi 1B could be used for word processing as well as for some light web browsing. Fast forward to today, and a modern Raspberry Pi 4 or Pi 400 is a very capable low-cost desktop computer. Many different desktop operating systems are now available for the Pi, as well as several cases that turn the Pi into a rather stylish small computing device. Office applications work very fluidly on a modern Pi, and the browsing experience is also pretty decent. With a little patience, it's even possible to edit video and to run sophisticated 3D and compositing packages, including Blender. Indeed, back in early 2020, I spent a week using a 4GB Raspberry Pi 4 as my only computer, and this included editing that week's 19-minute 1080p Explaining Computers video on the Raspberry Pi. Many people use a Raspberry Pi as a media player. Often, this is achieved by installing a media center operating system such as OSMC or LibreElec, both of which boot directly into a player called Kodi. This is very easy to configure and provides a clear, straightforward interface that works well on a Raspberry Pi that's used lean back, connected to a television and operated with a wireless remote. Content can be played from local drives, accessed from a home network, or streamed over the internet using a wide variety of add-ons that include YouTube. For users who want to store and exchange files, a Raspberry Pi can be used as a NAS or network-attached storage device. Popular NAS software includes Open Media Vault, otherwise known as OMV, which is pretty easy to set up, as I've detailed in several videos over the past few years. More broadly, a Raspberry Pi can be used as a small server, for example by installing Nextcloud, which can run groupware and which allows files to be exchanged over the internet. A Raspberry Pi can also be set up as a Plex server for sharing media files, and may even be used to host a website. The general purpose input-output pins on a Raspberry Pi can be programmed to control motors, servos, and other electrical and electronic devices. This allows a Pi to be used for robotics and automation, with many hobbyists, myself included, having adopted a Raspberry Pi as a robot controller. Examples include robots operated remotely over Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or another wireless link, as well as independent droid machines whose actions are determined by their own sensors and programmed code. In a similar fashion, a Raspberry Pi can be used for home automation, allowing remote or programmed control of everything from light bulbs to watering systems. The limit really is the maker's imagination, and indeed once I built a hamster feeder controlled by a Raspberry Pi Zero. A Raspberry Pi can be used to connect all manner of sensors to a network and more broadly to the internet, so allowing it to function as an IoT or Internet of Things device. Not least, a Raspberry Pi is great for streaming video from a camera, which can, for example, allow you to monitor activity in your garden or the latest withdrawals from your fridge. The brilliant software MotionEye OS can even be used to trigger recording and alerts when motion is detected. Other sensors that can be hooked up to a Pi include those for monitoring temperature, pressure, humidity, and air quality, so allowing a Pi to be used as a remote weather station. And last year, in my favourite ever Raspberry Pi project, I even added a homemade anemometer to a Pi to enable it to report the speed of the wind. Back inside, a Raspberry Pi can be used as a printer controller. This includes connecting a conventional inkjet or laser to a Pi, so allowing a printer without an Ethernet or Wi-Fi connection to be accessed over a network. Alternatively, as we saw very recently on this channel, Octopi may be installed to allow a Raspberry Pi to control and monitor a 3D printer. Right now, I'm not aware of a Raspberry Pi being used in a 4D printing process where 3D objects transform after printout. But I'm sure it's only a matter of time before our favourite single board computer gets involved in that too. A Raspberry Pi is powerful enough to emulate many classic microcomputers and games consoles, so making it excellent for retro gaming. Popular emulation software includes DOSBox, which I personally use to play Pac-Man, as well as RetroPie, which brings together Emulation Station, RetroArch, and similar projects that enable a Raspberry Pi to run all manner of arcade, home console, and classic PC games. For ardent retro gamers, there are even specialist cases that allow a Raspberry Pi to look as well as play the part, which facilitates the ultimate retro gaming experience. The Raspberry Pi even provides a potential platform for machine learning and artificial intelligence, and in this context a Pi can be put to work as the brains of a smart speaker. Over the years on this channel, I've demonstrated a Pi running Amazon's Alexa, as well as Google Assistant accessed via a smart speaker built with a Google AIY kit. More recently on this channel, we've seen how a Raspberry Pi can be used to make a PiCraft, which provides a voice interface to the Mycroft open source voice system. Mycroft have also created their own smart speakers, and like many other commercial products, these are based on a Raspberry Pi, with the Mark II specifically containing the 2GB Raspberry Pi 4. There are, as you may be aware, a lot of people who use a Raspberry Pi without even knowing it.
That didn't work so well.
A very important thing you can do with a Raspberry Pi is to use it as a learning platform. I know from thousands and thousands of comments and interactions with people here on this channel over the years that lots of people have used a Raspberry Pi to learn about coding, to learn about Linux, to learn about networking, to learn about IoT and controlling external devices, reading sensors, all that kind of stuff. And the Raspberry Pi remains an exceptionally good piece of educational hardware. Now, okay, you could say, well, any computer can be used as a learning platform, and that is true. But I do remember when the Raspberry Pi was launched, one of the things that was part of that launch was saying that the Raspberry Pi is a computer you can experiment with without messing up any computer you really rely on to do other things. So if you really mess up a Raspberry Pi in terms of its operating system, you can just reflash the microSD card, start again. And yes, you can reinstall the operating system and software on any other computer, but it's probably a lot less convenient. So the Raspberry Pi is very useful and has been very useful and will continue to be useful to many, many people as a learning platform. Finally, the last thing on my list, and I said this wasn't a ranked list, but maybe it should be, because I think the most important use, often at least to use a Raspberry Pi, is to make people happy. People seem to be obsessed sometimes in the comments on this channel with what's the particular importance and relevance and use of that. And if people enjoy buying a Raspberry Pi and setting it up and using it, that's great. It's a fantastic hobby. I know many, many people, again, through the comments on this channel, who've got a Raspberry Pi just because they like single-board computers. They like the idea of this small computer they can set up and use. There are a lot of people out there who just like single-board computers and like Raspberry Pis, and having one and using one gives pleasure to their lives, and we shouldn't miss the importance of that. You know, some people like to climb mountains, or to drive cars, or to play computer games, whatever it is, and that's all cool. Some people like single-board computers and having a single-board computer, and we shouldn't ignore that as a really important use of the Raspberry Pi. Anyway, those are my top 10 uses of our favourite single-board computer, but I'm sure I've missed many, so please let us know what you put on this list down in the comments section. But now that's it from the 400th Explaining Computers video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, please press that like button. If you haven't subscribed,
Really thumbed that one in.
subscribe, and I hope to talk to you again very soon.
Down a thief who tried to steal his four-wheel drive and trailer full of tools from outside his Preston home. The offender's under police guard in hospital with leg injuries, and the victims found himself being questioned by police.
I can understand his reasons and his motives, but it's a highly risky decision and activity to try and go out into the darkness and confront unknown people.
It's quite a nightmare trade he had, it's got to be said, but while he helped police with their inquiries today, his mates were outside not helping the media with their inquiries.
His name's Tony. Montana. Tony Montana. Yeah, Scarface. Yeah, you watched that? Good movie.
What's your name?
My name's Sam.
Actually.
My name's Toby.
What's your accent?
Toby Mitchell.
And he got his gear back, didn't he?
His gear? He got his pipe back, he got his bong, he's got everything back.
He got his equipment back.
Oh, yes, his equipment. He sure did.
Righto, folks, are you ready for the story of the year?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Friday night, and you're out with your mate.
Yeah.
When you see a robbery unfolding right in front of you. So, what do? Well, this is what our next guest did.
Oh. Look, case. Robert now.
You me. Boy James, let's go to the survey.
Wait, call the cops! Call the cops! 000, wait!
Yep.
Call the cops!
Yeah, we're talking Aussie legends right there. Shirtless and shoeless mates, James Ross Munro and Kane Whitlam snapped into gear, filming their heroic antics as they stopped an alleged getaway car and chased the culprits down the street. And we are thrilled to say that James and Kane join us now. Good morning to you, boys. Yes, absolutely. Round of Aussie applause. James, let's start with you because we love the video, but take us back to what was happening leading up to that moment.
Well, we'd been down at Options Tavern at a Stubbies and Singlets party and
Beautiful.
got dropped off by a mate up the road and decided to walk down the survey, get some noodles and went to jump over a sign on the way and slipped over and busted my plugger.
That's so Australia.
Busted a plugger.
So you've got a busted plugger.
Singlets shorts party.
What are you seeing that's happening at the servo?
So, pretty concerned about my blowout I had and looked up and saw a white Commodore pull up, two blokes with shirts around their faces and and sort of thought something was a bit sus, so better go and check it out.
And what did you see next?
Grabbed the keys out of the ignition while they're inside the Portos, and just I don't know, it sort of just unfolded from there. There's no plan, it was just go with it and see what happened.
Hey, brother, you had your shirt off at the time too, which means that you were in full manliness in front of that. Was there a time that it occurred to you that your life might be in great peril?
When I first jumped in the car, I sort of took a step back thinking, oh shit, has this bloke got a knife? Yeah. And then I saw his hands empty, he was just trying to cover his face, so I jumped back in and just went from there.
But you look like you got reasonable guns. You've been working out in the gym. You look reasonable, buddy.
Mate, I don't go to the gym. I haven't been to the gym in years. The only gym I go to is Jim Beam. That's about it.
Bobby, I gotta ask. I understand you're married. What did your wife make of all this when you got home and told her what had happened?
I'm not actually married as yet. That was my manager that hacked my Facebook and put up that I was getting married. So. But yeah, she was more concerned that I broke the brand new pair of pluggers that she bought me on Thursday night.
Yeah, of course. So did you actually get to see these guys when they came out? What was their reaction?
Only just briefly. Yeah, only briefly. Just got to see sort of just the top half of their faces and saw the passengers. I got a good look at him, and so they got away pretty quickly. And
once they realised their keys were gone, they weren't hanging around for very long. No. They were gone. Hey, Kane. Obviously, you're the sense in this this great duo. You're like the Robin to the Batman.
The Robin,
yeah.
He is short.
I was the one thinking about getting stabbed. So
because you were filming, so they would go for you first.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
but you kept filming manfully, and you've already received close to 2 million views on YouTube. How does it feel to be this famous?
We only put it up there just to get a couple of laughs initially, and it's unreal that it's just blown out of control.
Yeah, it's been shared everywhere.
Hey, James, have you managed to get yourself a new pair of pluggers?
Yeah.
Mate, I've got the team Muttdangers fishing team. They're going to sort me out with some.
What was that name of the
Closing's helping me out.
The who?
The team Muttdangers. Look them up on Facebook and give them a like.
You had to ask. You had to ask.
And,
I thought that was what he said, and I thought we'll just let it go through to the keeper.
You're the reason I came back from holidays. It doesn't get any better. Righto, folks, that's our show for the year.
The forced joviality it's not working for me. I'm not enjoying this.
Where do you work?
Mate, I work at Hinterland Mowers down at the rain.
Oh, of course you do.
You're going to be busy.
The Castle 3.
Very funny.
James and Kane, you are our absolute Aussie superheroes for once and for all. We do.
No, it's just had to be done. Sort out the right from wrong. Bloody
In a pair of thongs. That's the name of the movie.
And not singlet.
Australian heroes right there, folks.
Thanks a lot, boys.
Oh, we celebrate you.
Thanks
for the thanks.
Fighting crime.
No worries, she'll be all right, etc., etc.
We can't.
They got their noodles.
Brought to you by...
Blah blah blah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm just going to keep this running for the